Wow. Well, thank you so much for having us here to talk about the future of sex with you. I'm guessing some of you have had sex before and some of you have used technology before, so we're a good group. And I thought I'd give some context to this conversation about the future of sex, like who the hell are we to be standing up here. So I've spent the past year working as a sex futurist, which basically means studying the future of sex and technology's impact on our sex lives. And that can be anything from AI to even dating apps. Chances are some of you have probably used sex tech today. And in looking at the future, one thing that stood out and that's already happening is VR sex tech. And when we talk about sex tech as well, I just want to say, for some of you who haven't heard the term before, sex tech is any technology that's designed to enhance sexuality. And so on the podcast, I interview technologists, I interview scientists, I interview designers, entertainers, and everyday people about the impact that technology is having on our sex lives. And looking towards the future, this industry we call sex tech is said to be valued at $20 billion by 2020, which is crazy, because that's like in 3 years' time. And so when we were thinking about who we would like to interview at TOA for the future of sex, one industry that's sort of growing pretty rapidly in general, virtual reality, but also in the sex tech industry is VR, especially adult entertainment. And what's interesting, I think, about this industry is it's moving from entertainment into the education field. And one company that's doing that and exploring it, probably the first to explore entertainment and education in VR, is BaDoink VR. So BaDoink VR started 2 years ago. They were the first VR adult entertainment, let's just call it porn, company to enter the States. And so I'm delighted to be interviewing the head of production, Xavi Clos. Thank you so much for joining me. Our sort of intention with the time here today is to really explore the impact that virtual reality sex is going to have on all of us, and what sort of things are being developed, of course, how you develop the pornography content, but then what's the demand like for other things like education. So that's the preamble. Xavi, why don't you explain BaDoink as a status in case
okay,
people don't know?
Thanks for the introduction first, and thanks to TOA for having me here. So BaDoink, we are a tech company. We are a strong tech company. What happened to have a porn product? So, and we were one of the first hitting the mobile market around 2008. And we know that be the first give you like a big advantage. So we are like at least 6 months or 1 year ahead of any other company. So
quite an advantage.
Yeah, it is. So we did it for mobile. When we were starting, people are like, people is not going to watch porn on mobile. Like, okay, we'll see that.
Wow, so you're the first movers in porn on mobile.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So
that's porn in your pocket.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, let's say 3, because around 2014, I mean, we love to play with all the gadgets. Every new gadget that is in the market, we are a tech company, super techies, and we buy everything, like Oculus, Microsoft, HoloLens. We try everything, and we figured out how to use it in our expertise, which is the porn part.
How does porn fit with this? And I feel like a lot of innovation always starts out with pornography.
Yeah, that's right. Like, so we used to, like, if you go back to the story, like the fight with the DVD format and all this, and the beginning of the internet. So
yeah,
we're always there, even if the mainstream industries don't want to say it. So with VR, I mean, we try it, and it's like, okay, we have to do something. So this is amazing, and yeah.
Was this 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years.
And we launched the product in 2015. So after 6 months of figured out how to do it, because we were like, okay, we want to do it. We have no idea. By the time there were no cameras, there were no players, so we have to build everything. So
Well, tell us a bit about that. Like, how do you move from 2D content to that and
Yeah,
develop?
so it was nice. It was, we had to explore, to learn a lot, trial error. So we create the cameras from the scratch because the cameras that they were in the market, the resolution were not that good, and we want like have a product with the top quality, and that needs investment. And I mean, we're lucky that we have a big company supporting us, so that was a nice process to learn how VR works.
So did you set up the rigs yourself? So you bought the cameras, you said you created sort of the first rigs for VR porn?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's
Okay.
true. I cannot give more details because then the competitors can steal some ideas, but we have a custom rig, and it's kind of special because we shoot a first-person POV, so the camera is just in front of the male talent, so it has to be small cameras, because if not, you lose this. You put the camera here, you lose this immersion.
Right.
So what we try to do with VR is that you're going to be the person in the video.
Yeah. So that must be a big change for the performers as well. In anything, I think, in VR, like you telling a story, but especially in porn, if you're used to performing in a different way and suddenly you have, what, a camera right in front of you?
Yeah, right. So one of the big difference between the normal porn and, I don't know if you have tried virtual reality porn, is that you're not a spectator anymore. So you're not watching on a screen two people having sex. So you are now the part of the scene. So there's one random girl that is going to have sex with you. So and that's the big change. And yeah, regarding the male talent, they are not a big fans of shooting virtual reality porn because they do it because they know it's the future, but they are like this, with the camera just in front of them.
Wow. If it wasn't awkward already.
Yeah, they cannot move. They cannot even make noise, because in the first shooting, we allow them to move the hands, to more, and then we have a lot of early adopters, like really passionate, that write us, like some feedback, and they were like, I have a guy moaning in my ear during all the scene. So that's something that we learn. We have to say, shut up, don't even breathe, because all the speakers are here. So, and yeah, it's not the same with the movement.
Right.
The guys were complaining like, I don't want a random hand moving around while I'm watching like this scene. So again, so the guy is like this for 20 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine that just it's a different experience. It's removed from the screen, but it's not actually with another person. So there's a level of intimacy there that you haven't, I don't think anyone's really experienced before, where the screen's kind of right up there, as you say, right there with you. I'm curious what these early adopters have said about that experience.
So to be honest, they love it. And if you try it, I'm the first that I was impressed, because if you have the perfect scale and you have a good sound and you figure out the way to have a good immersion, it feels so real. So we shoot mainly 180 content. 180 means like half of the sphere, but we shoot in 3D. So you have the female talent just at this distance, kissing you, whispering, like the user loves this. So in normal porn, you used to jump to the action, and they are asking for more teaser. So they want like teaser, they want the girl talking to you, whispering to you, kissing. For me, it's super weird, because they want more kissing.
Yeah.
And when I watch the kissing, it's like, I cannot even watch it because I crossed the eyes. So, but people want to have kiss, so okay. I mean, I imagine that they close the eyes and they imagine with the sound, it's important too, so.
Wow.
And something else, like when let's say the action is finished, they don't want to cut, and they want like this girlfriend experience, so the girl laying next to you, so.
It's really intimate.
It's totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting point, though, don't you think, in terms of the content? suddenly, instead of watching it for like jumping to the piece of action that you want to watch, and you're there for, I don't know, what's the average time you would watch 2D porn? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something like this.
Yeah.
How long is the VR content that you're producing?
It's around 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
That's...
And people is not skipping it, so...
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, because it's almost, it is like the girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
So what's been your most downloaded piece of content? Is there one that's extremely popular at the moment for this? Does it have more of this in it?
In fact, the most popular from the last year was virtual sexology.
Okay.
Which is a sex education video. So it's not only porn. So it's a video that we create with a sex therapist. And there's exercise, like breathing exercise, to perform better, to be a better lover in general. So that was one of the most downloaded videos. And it's really cool because you have this voice of like explaining how to...
Different exercises?
Yeah, exercise, I mean.
Well, I mean, just thinking about that and thinking about the 2 sex talks that are on at TOA, Erica Lust had her talk earlier today, and she also talked about education. And I thought, this is really fascinating to me, that 2 companies that are, the core of it is erotica and adult entertainment, and now moving into the education field, or edutainment, perhaps. But I think that that's a growing thing, as we're seeing some porn companies move into education. What blows me away is that it was the most downloaded piece of content, which means that people are really excited about learning and looking for education and can't find it.
Yeah, totally.
Is there any feedback you've got from men that have been through this program, the virtual sexology program, or?
I mean, not really, but I heard that, I mean, we have this feedback inside, and a lot of people use it with their couples. So I think it's kind of, it's a new experience, you know? I mean, you can watch it and kind of perform it at the same time. So I think at some point we're helping. Interesting.
So you would watch it in a couple, or you would watch it and then just sort of like some training to be a better lover?
They don't give details, but I imagine that you watch it with your couple, and it's like, okay, today I'm not having sex with my husband. It's someone new, but he's my husband, so.
Yeah, I wonder if that's cheating. And I think that's a conversation that is up for debate with all couples there. But the education aspect, I think, is interesting. In virtual sexology, you have also a different market, perhaps, that are going, instead of being a porn aficionado that's, you know, going there for porn, they're going there for education too.
Yeah, right. So we launched like a couple of months ago virtual sexology II. And this one is totally focused on female audience. So right now, according to our data, only 6% of our users are female. And we want to open this market. I think there's potential. And every time we are in a show, showing some demos, I mean, the women love it. I mean, they stay longer than guys, and then they go to pick some friends, so.
We've been doing the demos in the speaker lounge, and if you see Xavi around, perhaps you can do a demo. It's kind of strange because you're in a public setting, and then suddenly you're not. And then you're in sex coaching style. But I think it's a really interesting application, and it is interesting to watch male versus female just experience this and the different reactions that they have, and guys tend to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of take it off pretty quickly and say, oh,
yeah, you're right.
Get out of here.
And it's fun because I mean, we should like, the point of view can be male or female. You can experience what is it to have sex being a woman. And the reactions are quite, I mean, it's fun because then in our forum, we released the first scene, and the people was like, whoa, this is gay sex. And it's like, no, it's not gay sex.
Why, because they looked down and they were...
No, like they look down, you are a girl, and a guy is having sex with you. And they were like, this is gay. No, it's not gay. So, I mean, we're trying to find a way, because then some people love it, and female audience love it. So
They love being a guy as well, or?
I
Could
think
be a cool use case.
Yeah.
I think for identity.
Yeah, right.
And thinking about, well, what would it be like to be a guy, or have some, you know, they call VR the empathy machine, right?
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be in this skin?
Yeah, that's a good experiment. So maybe we should go deep on that. Yeah.
Next channel.
Yeah.
Done. And so what are some of the other sort of channels or things that have been really popular in this? I know you've branched out into cosplay as well. Like, how big is this for you guys now?
So yeah, we launched cosplay, VR Cosplay X, if you want to check out, but in December of last year. So the concept is the same, it's porn, but we have all these girls with video games costume or movies, and to be honest, that like we have a really good feedback. I mean, it's something that, again, so we cannot go to Comic-Con, for instance, with our stand and show it there, because like, whoa, this is porn. But we try to do it like, we create our own like costumes. We really like to have to train the girl, like what this is to be this character. And I think people like that. They see that we put some love on it. It's not just sex, so it's like sex, and you have this story behind, and I mean, I'm excited, and I see the community growing fast.
Yeah, there's I like the idea that there's details and it is a story. You know, these things are 30 minutes long. And
so, for instance, we have a Harry Potter scene, and there's things are flying around while you're having sex, and there's ghosts coming. So it's kind of fun. I think like sex at some point, there's this fun factor that if you don't have it, it becomes boring.
What's interesting to me, and just like looking towards the future and the trends for the next couple of years, is the pairing of VR with teledildonics. And teledildonics, if you haven't heard that word before, it's a really fun word to say, but it's essentially remote-controlled sex toys, so toys that are controlled through a Bluetooth connection. And looking at when you're pairing teledildonics with something like VR content and how that works together.
So actually, we support Kiro. That it's one. What's the name of like a fake vagina, like a flashlight? I don't know if you are.
Flashlight.
You know the term, but so and this flashlight is synchronized with our videos. So basically, you put your phone or your headset, and the action is following the movement. So.
You just don't have to do anything at that point.
You just lay down.
You're just having the full experience. I'm not sure, is that the girlfriend experience that everyone's looking for now?
I mean, maybe not the girlfriend, but you're adding a new sense. So you have the visual, you have the sound, and now you have like feel of it. So to be honest, I haven't tried because it's too much cables to me, like looks a little bit
it just sounds awkward, doesn't it? But I've seen the interesting pairings with VR content and webcams, and the whole point of it is to make it feel real.
Yeah, totally.
To make it feel more intimate. So with that, like looking towards the future, are we all just going to stay home and wear these and, I don't know, eat a pack of Doritos on Saturday night and just have our own partner experience? Will we leave the house again? What do you think about this sort of stuff?
I don't think so. I think like the porn has been evolved with the technology, and now we have a new technology. So why not use it? So I mean, it's something different. So I prefer now to watch VR porn because this intimacy feel, but that is not going to change. Like having real sex, there's some, I don't know, some smell, some things that you cannot feel yet in virtual
Yet.
reality.
This is the scary thing, right? Yet, because they're developing scent releases. I think they're already released in virtual reality, and now we have, you know, haptic sensors, body suits. We have sleeves or teledildonics.
Yeah, and the next big thing is the interaction. So right now we're shooting it's a video, so you cannot decide what's next. But I think in the few years, we'll see that you can directly interact and do what you want.
So the next phase is sort of choose your own adventure with your content.
Yeah.
Like multiple storylines.
Yeah, that's easy right now, so that could be, but the next step is like, I don't know, choose like, today I want to have sex with this girl in this place with these toys, you know?
Right.
And every day can be
Put it
different.
in your shopping cart.
Yeah.
Away you go.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about sort of men, and they're predominantly using this sort of technology. It's like 94%. I just sort of want to wrap up and think about women and how they're using virtual reality, if they're using it. It sounds like there's a small percentage, but is there certain aspects of the content that you want to deliver there? Is there not a market for this? Is this something that you don't think women will use?
I mean, to be honest, I think it's a more complicated market, because you show a guy, like a demo, like, wow, this is cool. When I show it to you, like the female point of view, we're like, yeah, I'm not sure about this guy.
It's true.
It's not my type, so.
We're fussy, complex creatures.
Yeah, so I think like men's are more simple. So it's just porn. I don't care. The girl is kind of okay, so.
Right, right. So some people want to be more efficient, and other people want the emotional attachment. I think the really interesting thing to just end up on is just how blurred the lines are getting when you're having feedback from people saying, we want more of this teasing out, we want a storyline, we want a girlfriend experience, we want this interaction versus traditional porn. Now, if you were to go out tomorrow and start your own VR, or you would just wanted to make one with your partner, VR porn video, do you have any tips for people?
So people want to shoot themselves, you mean, or people?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have tips for everyone that want to shoot like real quick VR, because we shot more than 200 videos. And real quick, 3 things, like camera position, super important. I see a lot of videos, like they are 3 meters away, like in a concert, and you're watching like, am I a bird? Like watching this concert? So think about it when you shot video. And what else? 360 versus 180. So think about this. Do you need 360 at all? A lot of demos that I try, I look back, and there's nothing, just the logo of the company. So at some point, when you watch this content, you don't want to be like this. I mean, it's a little bit, it's not a great experience. It's good for the demo effect, it's cool, but you want to watch it relaxed in your sofa, and you're not in your sofa watching the TV like this. So think about it. I think it's better to have a good 3D effect than a 360 panorama, in my opinion. And again, I was talking about the sound. The sound is super important. So you can have the best scene, but if the sound is not following the action, you are not going to succeed. It happened to us at the beginning. We had this guy all the time moaning next to you, and that was a disaster. So no, the sound super important, because it's one of the sense that is going to help trick your brain that you are there.
Great. So I hope some women got some tips so they can create some content for women out there, and we can see some more content in VR. Our time is up, but if you would like to talk to us about the future of sex, if you would like to experience the future of sex with Xavi, you can come and find us after this.
I'm not sure I have enough battery, but I will try to have as many demos as possible.
Okay, well, visit virtualsexology.com.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us. I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.